Alright, so welcome back to our Let's Play for the game Dark Souls, where we are following the Brutalizer's journey in Lord... What was her name?
The Ravager.
The Ravager. I'm so too much law.
The brutal.
So we're following the Ravager's journey through Lord Ran, and we are still in the first sort of zone of the game, Undeadburg, and we did the first half in the last Let's Play, so we're going to finish this up and get to the second boss of the game next. As you see Deprava slaying undead and dodging stuff, as you do in this game.
Yes.
Do you need to go back down? Didn't we do all that?
No, but this guy always follows you. I don't want him backstabbing me.
I see.
There we go. Alright. Oh yeah, and then here's one of the ambushes of the game.
Right. The thing is, there's people there who throw flame balls at you, so you gotta run, dash, across that bridge.
Yeah, and then it leads you into running straight into a room that has 3 guys in it.
Well, don't spoil the surprise. Surprise! 3 guys. And again, for a player who is not experienced in this is a really tough area and a death. But this is our 18 billionth playthrough, so we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I remember the first few times I played this one room gave me a lot of trouble, because these 3 guys managed to swarm you pretty easily.
And there's a little gated door that we're going to use later in the game. So again, everything you see, you basically are going to interact with at some point in the game.
Yeah, it's one of the brilliant aspects of the level design in this game, where pretty much everywhere is designed to be somewhat circular, but it doesn't really register that much, so that as you're going through, you're going to end up finding shortcuts that'll help you go double back in places. And it allows the world to feel very open without feeling like you're backtracking all the time, like in Metroid or something.
Yeah, well, this game, it does have backtracking, but you sort of backtrack to new areas in the old areas, so it doesn't feel like retreading. As you said, Metroid or Metal Gear Solid 1 was a terrible backtracking adventure. Go back to the armory for this thing you can get, now that you have the card key. Snake!
Oh, that was close.
I can't even react to it because I'm on such a delay. But I'm assuming it was close. And now the Undeadburg, by the way, lore-wise, was built... in the DLC, when you go back in time, it was not built, so it was probably built after Gwyn had left to rekindle the flame. And it was built as sort of a staging area for undead who are basically doing what you're doing and trying to ring the bells and be the chosen of prophecy and do all that. And so just this whole complex of battlements and cities built up with people basically staging and preparing for that purpose, and then they all go hollow.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is that the game has a backstory, but time flows, I mean, you're told explicitly, time flows weirdly, so I think it's technically been 1,000 years, right, since Gwyn left, but
yeah,
it's more like eternity because time is all compressed and everything. And now we get a glimpse into the Black Knight. And these are really tough enemies, which, if it's your first playthrough, you shouldn't even bother with, because they'll kill you. But once you're seasoned, you can get them pretty well. And the Black Knights were Silver Knights of Gwyn, as you saw in the intro, who went with him to kindle the first flame, and when the rekindling was botched and it all blew up in their faces, their armor got all charred. So these were like the Navy SEAL shock troops of Gwyn's army.
Well, that's actually a point that's a little conflicted in the lore stuff, because I believe...
Well, the items have the 2 different descriptions depending on which.
Yeah, their items either say that they were burned by Gwyn kindling the flame, or they were burned while fighting the chaos demons that have been emerging from Lost Island. And the weapons seem to bear that second description out because all of the Black Knight weapons have a hidden bonus to do extra damage to demon characters.
Which is real nice for bosses.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
I didn't
get
get his weapon.
That's another secret, is if you get one of these Black Knight weapons early in the game, it just breaks it.
It's pretty good.
Because they're just ridiculous for the boss fights. But unfortunately, Deprava's going to be swinging around the scimitar for a while.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can do this jump. Here's another little trap. Nope, can't do it.
Why don't you just go the other... You can just back out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you were trying to be cool.
But I like to try to be cool. And then
Well,
here's
I
another
can't blame
door.
Oh, and down that door is another difficult boss, which... You have the... With the Master Key, you can go in right now, I believe. But
Yeah.
if you don't have the Master Key, you have to get a key in the Darkroot Garden. And in there is Havel the Rock. Well, allegedly Havel the Rock. We can talk about that later when we actually need him. But he ain't easy.
No, he ain't.
And those little lizard things drop twinkling Titanites, which help you level up special weapons.
And I got 2 shards. That's pretty good.
Hurrah. And the little fogs, every time you cross through a fog door, it's like a signal that something tough's on the way. And don't forget to go up here first, because if you don't...
Because again, ambush. This is a
You're gonna get
boss
shot
room.
in the back.
This is a boss room that has a crossbow ambush in the back of it.
But don't forget about this tower, because this breaks the next boss fight.
Yeah.
Challenge to Prava, don't use the drop-down trick.
Okay.
Well, do it once to show them,
Alright.
but then after the first time, do it like a real warrior.
Gotcha.
Man mode it. So surprise.
Surprise!
This is another demon. Like the Asylum demon, this is a demon, which came from the Demon Ruins, which is an area you'll get to later in the game, and we'll discuss how they're born at the time as well. We don't want to load up on spoilers and stuff. But the trick is you can climb up and then do the drop stab for tons of damage. And then, well, even killing him normally is so easy.
Well, see, the developers, they like to produce challenges that screw with you, but they also do provide ways for people going through this at the very beginning to be able to handle it. For one, you have the drop-down technique, and for another, you saw me earlier on in the Berg get the gold pine resin, which I've now applied to my weapon, which grants you a large bonus to lightning damage to your weapons. And demons happen to be quite weak to lightning damage, which allows you to take down this boss a bit easier than it would be otherwise. So...
Yeah, I feel like we're not doing justice to how terribly difficult this game actually is, but... you know, once you've been around the block a few times, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And this is a cool area. I just love the visuals here that expands down there. And this man right here, the Knight of Solaire, is also interesting lore-wise. Because later we learned that Gwyn, one of the 4 lords we saw earlier, who became sort of the main god of this new pantheon of Lordran, banished his firstborn son for reasons unclear, except that he disappointed him in some way. And one of the main theories is that this Knight of Solaire is Gwyn's firstborn son, who has lost his godly ability. The main stuff, it's mainly circumstantial, because he's trying to find the sun's glory, and he keeps talking about the sun shining as if it was a father, and Gwyn is associated with the sun and a solar deity, so that's what that's about. But aside from the lore, he gives you the white soapstone, which lets you leave behind summon signs so that other players can summon you, and you can help them with the game or defeat bosses. So it's kind of a cool little thing that lets you help other players instead of just
in
invading them like a
strange
dick and
beings
killing
in
them.
a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out.
See, he says the flow of
The
time
very
itself is
fabric
convoluted,
wavers,
which we
and
talked about
relations
earlier.
shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to
And
summon
Solaire
one
as
another,
well is,
cross the
there's a
gaps
few
between
NPCs
worlds,
in the game that you can
and
summon to
engage
help you
in
with
jolly
bosses.
cooperation.
You can
Of
summon
course, we're
real,
not the only
playable,
ones engaged in
I
it,
mean players as
but
well,
I
of
am a
course, but
warrior of the
there's
sun.
also a few
What
NPCs
my summon signature
scattered about the
is
world
by
that you can summon and they'll help you
extreme
fight
order.
bosses.
If you
And
wish,
Solaire doesn't quite, I think
you
it's about
can
4 or 5 bosses he can help you with, so he's
Yeah, it's
around.
several, and actually that's part of his quest. There are
Hello
a
there.
few
The
quests.
sun is a wondrous body, like a
See, and here he say the
magnificent
sun is a
father.
wondrous body like a
If only
magnificent
I
father.
could be
Right, so people go,
grossly
oh, maybe he's the
incandescent.
firstborn son.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all circumstantial stuff like that.
Yeah. But there are several NPCs in the game that actually have sort of story arcs that are semi-questy in nature that you can follow along, but the game never explicitly tells you anything. You don't have a quest log, you don't have a journal. You just have to meet these characters throughout your journey and do something that allows them to continue their journey. And Solaire
Right,
is
one of them being Solaire.
Yeah.
And then, well, we met down at the Firelink Shrine, we met Thorland, and, I mean,
Yeah.
no, what's his name? of Thorland.
Petrus of Thorland.
Petrus, right.
Yeah.
So there's a few that you can get in there, and they're really, I don't know how you even do them without the wiki, because there's no hint at all about what you're supposed to do, but...
No, Siegemund's, the Katarina Knights, is the worst. Anyway, we'll get to that.
yeah, we'll talk about that, but yeah, there's really specific conditions you have to fulfill,
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
Well, now this
Right,
is
here's
the
another
bridge.
trap.
Yeah. And again, as we were saying, if you see it, you go to it, that complex in front of us, we'll be going through all of that, all the way up to the church bell in the very far back.
Right, and that's the first area we've been through is Undeadburg, and next will be the Undead Parish, which is what we're looking at right
But then, again, the game subtly hinting you things without actually telling you, there seems to be scorch marks on this bridge. I wonder
Right,
what
or
that
just stains.
means.
You don't. How do you even tell that? The game's just evil. It's not really hinting at you.
And
It's
then
just
all of a sudden there's a dragon.
well,
A drake.
a bridge wyvern drake.
Yeah. And this
And
is
apparently, you can fight it and kill it. Although
you
I've
can.
never done it.
Also, this is one instance where developers actually made the game easier. In the initial release, the Drake would continue to shoot fire at you as you ran up to this part right here. Whereas
Well, I
now,
remember those days.
yeah, whereas now it won't shoot fire until you get to about up to that part. But I'm not going up there just yet. Instead, I'm going to run down here, and lo and behold, I'm back at the bonfire that we started at.
Right, you can kick a ladder down and then see. That's the clever. Like we said, it's backtracking, but it's not really backtracking because you're not technically retreading the old stuff quite. But you're just going back to where you've been, and it's a clever world design.
Alright, what should I put my points in? Dex or strength?
Put everything in resistance.
I'll not do that one. Well, if I'm gonna use the Drake sword, I need strength.
And I think what's the dexterity requirement on it?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's 16 strength.
Okay.
Do I have enough souls to make that happen right now?
The Drake sword is another weapon that kind of breaks the early part of the game, and since we didn't get the Black Knight sword, you might as well get it
Yeah. Although, again,
to make things easier.
I won't use it a whole lot. See, the Drake sword, I think that it somewhat breaks the early game, but I think it's also a bit of a trap, because you start off and it has very high base damage, which is very good for this point in the game. But on the other hand, it's a weapon that has no scaling at all.
Well, right, that's why, I mean, it's for the early game, I mean, it's useless. Once you get to Sense Fortress, it's a crutch. I mean, the opposite of a crutch, a ball shade thing that holds you back.
Yeah, I'll kill it. Oh, hey, there's a person summon sign.
So that's what they look like, and you can summon them into your game. And then here, there's different ways you can get to the next part. You can go back up top,
Yeah. You can
and
try.
goad the dragon down and run past it, and you'll get to the next bonfire. Or you can go under. You're supposed to. I don't know if you're supposed to, but the kind of accepted beginner thing is to go under it, so you avoid the dragon that way, and then there's kind of a sewer, and you climb back up to where you would have gone had you run straight across.
And then, of course, this way you avoid the dragon, but you end up fighting these guys on the cliff, and you fight 3 rats that can poison you at a point in the game when you don't have any way to cure that poison. Oh, so much for him.
Fool.
And then here's a friendly sign that says try the tail from right here.
Right, by friendly sign, we mean a friendly sign.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, I mean, you can read the messages left on the ground.
Oh god, that.
You can, when we put this online, just fast forward through this, because it's going to take an hour.
Yeah. If I don't stop screwing up.
Why would you even lose there?
I don't even know what happened there. Oh my god.
So basically, with an arrow, first of all, you take your time, you do it properly, and you just keep hitting the tail over and over until eventually it'll drop the Drake sword, which is the sword we
It's
mentioned
been a long
earlier.
time since I've got the Drake sword. Why did it shoot another one?
Because you're
Oh my
wasting
god,
arrows.
this is comical.
You definitely cut this part when you put it in.
Yeah, I'll speed
Fast
this
forward.
up.
Fire. I saw it in your eyes, and I was like, "Who's not afraid of fucking fire? Like, it's dangerous."
Alright, there we go, we did it.
Oh, Drake sword! Hooray! That only took 38 minutes.
So as
But
you
again,
can see,
that struggle is sort of worth it because it's useful for the next hour.
yeah, perseverance pays off. And then,
That is a very true thing about Dark Souls. Perseverance does actually pay off.
and then as you can see, it's a giant, hideous monstrosity thing. But, and I can't wield it yet with only one-handed. But it's okay.
The Ravager doesn't have this stuff yet.
Real bad. Okay, and then I'm gonna go this way. Oh, and then die, I guess. Oh no, I didn't die.
You just got a little burn.
I got a little seared.
Just a little burn. You should go to the left. Yeah, if you just stay there and keep running, he'll fly down eventually.
No, if you just stand right here, I'll fly down.
That's what I mean, like if you stay right there.
Yeah.
But I think if you run in place, like it makes him come down faster.
I don't know about that. I just think, and then yeah, you can fight him right here if you're feeling ballsy. Oh, he did the one that killed me. Yep.
Will you stop to pick up the items?
Well, of course I stopped to pick up the items.
You should run to safety.
Well, that's just silly.
Then you come back and get the items once
No.
you're safe. No, okay.
No.
I'm being ridiculous again, aren't I?
That's just preposterous.
I'm being ridiculous. I mean, why walk the 5 feet to save and then go back out?
I don't know. I just never do that. I always stop while
You're
he's
like,
on the
it's all or
stage.
nothing right now. Balls to the wall. See, now they're all back and alive because enemies respawn every time you die or go to a bonfire. Well, bosses don't, but all the normies.
It's okay. I retrieve.
Yeah, and if you get your little green retrieval, you get all your souls back, which is nice.
Just
But oftentimes you don't get to because the game sucks.
it does. Yeah, I think I've killed this Drake at this point in the game about twice.
I've never even really tried. I don't know. I just never. What does it get you anything?
10,000 souls.
Oh please. Get that. My eyes closed. Half a minute. And this is the next. Now again, this seems weird to have a bonfire this close to the one we were just at, but really you're not. Like the way the game is supposed to be, you're supposed to go under.
I don't know. I mean,
Around.
the game, like, here's where the developers are being really trolly. that the only bonfire in the parish is here, and you have to go through the dragon. And if you go down through the basement, you never get it because this gate is locked.
Right. Oh, and go to the right. Go back. That's my favorite area is the altar of the sun.
Yeah, but then here we have a statue of the mother, the wife of Gwyn, holding a baby. I think this is presumably the firstborn son. And then we'll find other statues later. But yes. This is the altar of the sun.
And this is where the covenant of... What's this covenant called? This Sunlight Covenant or something?
Sunlight Warriors, I think?
But this is the one where, if you're part of it, the main stuff you get are faith-based offensive spells, like lightning spears, and you get Gwyn's actual, like, fire, lightning, heaven spear thing at the end. But you have to... You get sunlight medallions by helping other players defeat bosses. And the broken statue was allegedly a statue of Gwyn's firstborn, but is now destroyed.
Yeah, because he has been cast out.
And you can see, you'd think, well, maybe it's Gwyn himself, but he's holding a spear, and Gwyn did not have a spear.
Gwyn never
so
had
that's
a
why
spear.
people said it's the firstborn. And I just like visually, I think this is just a beautiful area. You can see down there the Undead Burg. We just went through all that. If you look closely, you can see we did that.
Yeah, you can see we went down and then went up this tower and then across where we fought the Taurus demon, and then now we are here. And we've crossed this bridge. Anyway, and then for some reason there are draggling little enemies here who I guess are overwhelmed by faith and will never attack you. And I always think there's stuff here, but there's not.
There's just nothing. But I just think it's a cool area. It's just a neat little secluded space.
Yeah.
A brief respite from the climb.
Oh, right. I should go back human again. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you gotta kindle it and be human so that you can get invaded by an asshole.
Which so far, that plan of yours has only worked once.
Well, we've only been human once.
And I was human all through this playthrough up until I died to the dragon.
What? Balderdash.
Yeah. Go back, look at the tapes. The tapes don't lie.
You can edit, you can Photoshop tapes.
Oh shit.
And that door to his right is where you would have come up if you had gone under the bridge.
Yeah, you come up right here, and then down there's 3 rats that will screw you up real good.
And up here is another knight who might give you a sweet Black Knight weapon.
Yeah, he also might work me over. I have some trouble with this knight. Oh.
Well, you gotta... I usually draw him down into the bonfire area and make him circle around the fountain. But you can try and be a man about it.
Alright, that worked.
It did.
That's the best that's ever gone.
Unfortunately, you didn't get a badass knight weapon.
No, I didn't. It happens. And then here is an interesting area where after you go through it the first time, there's a way to circumvent this whole area. Because you see there's a guy on the left next to the giant boar. When you cross through this gate, he will run up and lock the portcullis behind him, which require you to go the long way through this area. But you can actually just run straight through this, dodge all the enemies, and get to the portcullis before he closes it, and bypass this entire parish.
But it's one of the best areas of the game, so you should play it.
Yeah. And as we can see, the Drake sword is much stronger than the scimitar at this point.
Right. And if you had the strength to use it one-handed, it's even simpler, because you don't have to keep switching. You can just parry, kill, and destroy.
Then see, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, no, not the port. Don't drop the portcullis, son.
He done did it. He done it.
Yep.
You done goofed. I'm gonna kill you now.
I done goofed.
You done goofed. Now you gotta go the long way around.
Oh my god, you stupid. Oh god. God. Arrgh.
I wish I knew what you were reacting to.
Oh lord.
The spear, man.
There we go. I'm trying not to aggro that stupid boar. Alright.
The boars are really tough to kill because they have a lot of armor, but the nice thing is they don't respawn.
Yeah, and also this one has a trick to it that's also the developers teaching you something, but not through a really basic tutorial.
There's archers up here, which again, if you don't go straight up, they just keep shooting and annoy the shit out of you and make life really difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you go up first and take them out.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Come on, where'd you go, dudes? Okay, never mind. They around. But yeah, you see, we got this boar down here. But then what's this item? Why, it's an alluring skull. What is an alluring skull, you say? Well,
What is? I've actually never used it.
it is... You throw it to shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies.
Oh.
And so you have a boar... hold on, let me kill this guy. I don't want him screwing up my awesome...
I had no idea. I always just killed it
Oh, really?
using non-alluring.
No.
I didn't even know you could do that.
This is how they're trying to teach you. By not telling you anything, but leaving the item right here next to fire. You can, in fact, throw... Let's see if I can get it on the first shot. You can throw the skull into the fire, the boar will be attracted to it, and burn itself to death.
Boy, I wish.
Also, it'll pass out.
Or you could just jump down and spend 8 hours hitting its butt
Yeah, you can do
over
that
and
too.
over.
There you
That's the Alessandro method. Ooh, oh, there he goes. Oh, he got it. He got it. He's burned.
He's spazzing out. He doesn't like he doesn't like it.
Because if there's one thing an armor-plated boar would be weak to, it's fire. And nothing else.
Oh, he doesn't like it. Doesn't like it.
Oh, there it is.
There
Oh, he
we
jumped
go.
back. He's like, what's
Oh,
going on?
Whoa! Now he's serious about it. Wow. Okay.
He's going crazy now.
All right. Let's see if I can finish him off with a downward stabbing thing. He'll come back up here. Come on, you can do it. Now this boar has a chance to drop a fancy helmet, but it's only a chance. It's not guaranteed, and
But it's like a really cool looking helmet.
yeah. And again, there are only 3 of these in the game. No, that killed it.
The gargoyle helmet is cool too. I
Yeah.
like that in the boar one.
So, and that's how you kill the boar. And that's the developers teaching you about alluring skulls. You'll never
Or
get
you could
another.
just hit it. You could just hit it in the butt a lot.
You'll never get another one in the game, but it's good to have them for that one.
Or you could just hit it in the butt a
Yeah,
lot.
or you can just hit it in the butt, which is actually false teaching because the later boars in the game have armored butts, and you can't hit them there.
Well, actually, I do anyway. I just keep smacking them in the butt until they die. It's not a perfect method, but it works eventually. Where else are you supposed to hit the late ones?
I
You
don't
just
know.
hit them and bounce off their armored butts.
Yeah, I just hit them in the side. Actually, if you two-hand a weapon, you won't bounce off them.
I knew that.
And then here's a mystery key, where you're like, what does this mystery key do? And if you read
That's
it...
what your master key does. Yeah, the other thing about this game is when you get items, read the
descriptions.
A lot of the game's backstory and actual story and lore is in the descriptions. Like, you'll see for example, you'll go in Anor Londo, and Ornstein and Smaug fight you, and you're just like, who are these people? And then when you kill them and you get their items, it explains, well, they're the captains of Quinn's 4 knights and stuff. So it's just every time you get an item or a Black Knight weapon, for example, the items tell you about the world and what they are. So don't think of it as, okay, I just got this good. Please read all the descriptions you get, especially the keys and key items.
Yeah.
Like you get like 5 different prison keys in Sen's, the Duke's archives, and you're kind of like, why do they have all these keys? But they all have descriptions, and they tell you the story of Seath's archive madness, basically.
Yeah. Very quiet. Got him.
Why would you guard the part of it that doesn't have a path on it?
Also, why would you? Yeah, why would you turn your back to the path? That guy didn't quite know what he was doing.
And this area is, I mean, I guess it's not. It's different from an Undeadburg anomaly. It's Undead Parish, but it's this whole cloister and complex around a church.
The gargoyles.
Huh?
The bell just rang, so somebody else in another
Oh,
game killed the gargoyles.
I don't hear the
Oh yeah.
audio.
Oh god, this guy's gonna fuck me up good.
And these guys, the Balder Knights, drop allegedly the best PvP sword in the game. Well, post later patches, because they nerfed a lot of stuff.
I think it was always the best one-handed. But yeah.
Oh, right, but it was especially, I mean, after they nerfed all the big weapons, and that they basically made any heavy weapon just completely useless in PvP.
But yeah, the odds of ever getting it are astronomical.
Lilo.
Yep. Oh, and then there's this dude.
And this is the portcullis that was shut earlier, but you can reopen it from this side, and then you can, again, have easier access to
and then this guy that I just killed is the one who closed it, and he will never respawn. So the portcullis will never be closed again.
And then look back up the steps. Like, this is one of my favorite views in the game. Is like from here, just looking back up and seeing that big Romanesque cathedral. And I just think it's really cool looking. And basically, from where you were, you know, you can see architecturally, there's this huge walkway and procession back down through here, down to the bridge, and out onto that huge like patio, looking out of the gate where the Knight Solaire was. And I don't know what maybe religiously they had processions from the church out to there, I don't know, but like it's just architecturally interesting how it's all built and set up.
Yeah, and then a lot of people, I hear a lot of new players get very confused right after this point, after they go into the church and kill the gargoyles, that they don't know where to go next. But if you saw,
well, you had some flexibility.
Yeah, but if you saw, I just picked up a basement key. And again, read the descriptions. If you look at the basement key, it says, opens the passage leading below the far face of the Great Bridge in the Undead Burg. So that opens the door near Solaire that we couldn't open earlier, that I didn't actually go to. And it also references the Capra Demon, who's the lower Burg's boss, as a sort of foreshadowing.
Right. But I think the main thing is, I mean, you could easily also do the Moonlight Garden stuff now as well. I mean, it's just kind of personal choice.
Ah, balls. Ah, balls.
Unlucky fortune.
Everything's going bad now.